Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Damsels in Debate podcast. I am your host, Tina.
And I'm your co-host, Vanessa.
Yay. You know, I notice I always say yay after we do our little introductions.
That's your thing. It's working like, and I'm your co-host, Vanessa. Like a game show or something.
I know. It's whatever.
It just works.
We need some kind of intro music, but I don't know I don't know how to do any of that kind of stuff.
I don't know.
So we'll have to do like a beatbox thing.
The free music that we have.
Oh, yeah. The loops.
Smart Source or something like that. Whatever it's
Smart
called.
Sound. Yeah.
There we go.
Maybe we can use something out of there.
Yeah.
I'm not musically inclined at all.
Neither.
Anyway, before we do anything today, what was it? Wednesday? Thursday? I don't know. Sometime
this week. I think Thursday.
Yeah, we got an email.
Yay!
And it made my day because I was having kind of a crappy day anyway. Mm-hmm. And we got an email. Somebody actually emailed us. And it wasn't spam.
It makes us feel important.
It was awesome. So I'm going to take a brief minute here and just read it because it's just so great. So here we go. Hello, ladies. Just wanted to say that I am enjoying the new podcast. Believe it or not, I subscribe and listen to almost 200 podcasts. Yes, you read that right. But I am still very picky about which ones I enjoy. Your conversations are light and fun, and you both certainly know your films and television. Yes. Being the movie/music/television /gamer nerd that I am, it is certainly nice to see some female perspective on these topics. That's so great because that's why I wanted to do this.
Exactly.
Anyhow, keep up the good work and I will keep listening. And feel free to read this if you choose. But if you do, could I request a little shout out to my beautiful baby girl, Georgia, who is turning 1 on August 23rd. She sits with Daddy a lot when I am listening to my podcast, and she might be your youngest listener. Take care. And that was from Will in Sacramento, all the way over in Sacramento.
Well, happy birthday, Georgia.
Oh, I think of a birthday song, not just the normal birthday song.
Happy birthday from all of us to you. It's from Ember's New Girl.
Oh, wait, no, from The Simpsons. Georgia, it's your birthday. Did you ever see that one with Michael? Oh, well, they sing it to Lisa, but I'll have to find a YouTube clip, but whatever. August 24th when we do the podcast, we'll have to remember to say happy birthday to her. Okay. But thank you very much, Will. That was made our day when we read that. So thank you very much. And yay, I'm glad you liked the podcast.
Mm-hmm. Keep listening.
Yeah, exactly. Oh boy. So, there's actually a lot of movies that came out this weekend. There was that R.I.P.D. movie with Jeff Bridges, and then the Turbo, the snail racing one.
Oh yeah, the Pixar one.
Is it Pixar?
I think so.
Oh, okay. It looks like a Pixar movie. Mm-hmm. And also The Conjuring and Red 2.
Oh yeah, that one.
I know. I'm like, oh, that's coming out now, because we saw that a couple weeks ago. Yeah. Exactly. So now we finally get to talk about that. But before we do you have something you need to talk about?
Yes, I have my Tom Hiddleston moment of the week. I mean, it's just whenever something important comes up, I like to mention it. But this is a very sad day for me because there's some news that Tom Hiddleston was with some girl, like his new girlfriend. I didn't get down her name because it's not important. But he was at some Wimbledon thing and they're holding hands and stuff. I was like, oh no. I mean, I'm not single either, but it still bothers me.
So the fangirl moment of the week.
Yeah. I'm like, oh no. But hey, I mean, the man's got to live his life, so
right. And at least
good luck
happy.
to him. Hope he's found the one.
Found the one. That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Alrighty, well, moving on from that, we finally get to review Red 2 now.
Yay!
A couple weeks later, but anyway. So, what were your...
Sorry.
That's okay. Vanessa's crinkling papers over here. Okay, anyway. What were your general thoughts on Red 2?
I thought it was entertaining. You know, I think it held up to the first one. Like, it was just as good as the first one.
Yeah.
There's some notes that I wrote down, like... Catherine Zeta-Jones, I thought her character was a bit much, like a little over the top, but maybe that's how she's supposed to be. But the whole movie, like, I liked the plot and I liked the little twist they had with Anthony Hopkins' character.
Yes.
Yeah, and so yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. It wasn't fantastic. Like, I don't think it was, I don't think it was super memorable, but I did enjoy it. I thought it was a good movie, and it's just interesting to see a movie like that and with the cast all being like not old, but definitely older people, like an older crowd. So it's a nice little switch up, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. I love Bruce Willis, I just like him a lot, and Mary Louise Parker was good, and I like how they got all the same like the same people playing the same characters and stuff. And I like that Brian Cox came back. I don't remember his character's name, but the Russian guy.
Yeah.
I was a little upset, although I knew beforehand. But I was a little upset that Carl Urban's character didn't just make like a quick cameo or something. But that's okay.
You said Brian Cox, it just made me think of that scene where Helen Mirren is like shooting and she has her shoes off and her legs are kind of like undulating in the air, and he's like, there's something about a woman's legs. He's like smelling her shoes.
I know, that's so gross, but it made me laugh.
Oh, I cracked up laughing. I want to point out one of my favorite scenes was when John Malkovich fakes his death in the beginning, and Bruce Willis like goes in there and he's like, he's not dead, and he's like doing all this stuff to like the corpse and stuff, and he goes up there and he's like, all of a sudden he gets all emotional and stuff, and then the guy's like, I really felt how that I really enjoyed the fact that you cried at my funeral. Like, I didn't cry.
No.
So I like the humor between the actors, like they really did that well. Just like it was very, I don't know, it just,
they had good chemistry.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Good
camaraderie.
Banter. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Let me think here. I had no idea that they were making a sequel to this movie, to the original Red movie, but I guess it did good or did well enough at the box office. They could make another one. So that being said, like, I don't feel like it was completely like you didn't really have to have a sequel, but they made it, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was good.
Well, let me tell you, because I was trying to remember what happened in the movie, because you said there's some parts that wasn't memorable, so I was looking it up, and there actually is a third movie in the works.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
The same brothers are signed on for a third movie.
Oh,
so,
do you know if the principal cast signed on at all?
It didn't have any. It just said like, there's notes. It's what's the word I'm looking for? There's news or whatever that there's
a third one in the works.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'll go see it.
So I wrote that down. I was like, oh man. Did you feel the loss of Morgan Freeman in this movie? Like I felt like, man, I wish Morgan Freeman didn't die.
I do wish he was.
I wish he was still part of the crowd.
Yeah. I don't know if that's just because it's Morgan Freeman or what. But yeah, it would have been good if he was in there. There was one part. It was towards the end when they were flying the helicopter. And I don't remember if somebody shot it or whatever, but the helicopter was going down, and there was one shot where the helicopter, you see it from far out, and it just goes, and does like a dive bomb.
Nosedive, yeah.
Nosedive. And that part, like, you find things really funny, and they're not really all that funny, and then you keep laughing. Yeah, me and my mom did that in the movie theater. She was laughing really hard, actually, so that was really funny. Like, it's not that hilarious.
I remember laughing so bad at the scene where the Mary Louise Parker, she's, they're in the bar or whatever, and they're trying to capture or kidnap that one guy, and they're like, don't stare at him.
Oh, yeah.
She's just openly staring at him.
Yeah.
Like, freaks out.
She's like gawking at him,
and then afterwards, how she convinces him to give her the information.
Right.
She's like, oh, no.
Yeah,
like,
she's all sad sack. Yeah.
I remember I turned to you and was like, isn't that the guy from Harry Potter? Like,
yeah.
The teacher or whatever?
Lupin, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, that is him.
Yep.
Like, I thought he looked familiar, so that was interesting.
Yeah, it was a cute movie. I don't think it's something you would have to go see in the movie theater. But, yeah, I liked it.
It was entertaining.
Good. Yeah, and if you like the first one, you will like this movie. One quick scene I wanted to mention, that was the... I think it's Mary Louise Parker and John Malkovich's character. And she's trying to show off because Catherine Zeta-Jones is acting all awesome and doing all these cool stunts in the car.
Yeah.
So she's like following them. They're following Catherine Zeta-Jones and Bruce Willis, who are following Lupin. And they're in this little car, and they get stuck in between those two buildings.
He's like, I was like, we'll make it. And
it just stops. It reminds me of like almost the exact same part in the movie Mannequin. Have you ever seen that?
No.
Oh man, that's a great 80s movie.
I think that's on my list. I think you told me.
Okay, yeah. It's a stupid movie, but it's just great. And anyway, basically the same thing happens. They do this big jump in the car, and they're like, yeah! And then they just get stuck, and they're like up in the air, and they can't get out or anything. So I found that funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, cute movie. So now that was the only new movie we've seen that's, in the movie theater. Mm-hmm. So moving on to clearing the queue. Let's see. What did you have this week?
I had Hellboy.
Right.
This week, yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because we talked about Del Toro and Ron Perlman. Mm-hmm. Okay, right.
You said you need to see Hellboy.
Yes. Okay, so go ahead.
The initial beginning of the movie, I was like, what's going on? The 7 gods of chaos or whatever. And then they had this guy opening a portal. I was a little confused to that. Mm-hmm. But once they introduced the cute little baby Hellboy, the little red chimp or whatever that was they called him, I was like, okay, this is interesting. But definitely what made this movie was Ron Perlman and his sarcasm, playing how I just kept laughing, all these little one-liners. I wrote down a couple of them, when he goes in to confront that first demon, he's like, let me go say hi. And then, when he's crossing the street and he's, trying to save his new partner or whatever, the guy supposed to protect him or something.
Oh, right,
he's
right.
He's red means stop. And he, stops the car midair and the car, flips over.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And then the one part I actually openly, cracked up laughing. And I was watching this with Rod, so he's just staring at me why are you laughing so hard? But it's when he had resurrected that Russian guy, the skeleton, and he's carrying it around. And he's like, how you doing back there? And the guy says in Russian, if I had legs, I'd kick your ass. And so he goes, can you hold this guy for a while? He is so negative.
I want to watch that. I haven't seen it in a while. Yeah, okay. I remember that now. He goes off the cliff or something.
Yeah,
right?
he fell off and he's like, I was better off dead. Oh, and also what sold me on this movie, too, is that he's a huge cat lover. I was like, oh my gosh, I love him now. When there's one scene where he's in the subway station or something like that, fighting the demon, and there's a lady going, my kittens, rescue my kittens, and there's a box of kittens, and he's like, oh no, and he picks them up, and you see a cat poking his head out. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Little cats.
So I thought that was neat that it softens him a little bit because he's a cat lover.
Yeah.
The portal that they had, it reminded me again of the Avengers portal or the Pacific Rim portal.
Oh, right.
The things coming through the portal and stuff. So I think that's
from another.
But this came out
world.
First, so this one is the first movie that had it.
Yeah.
That makes me think of
well,
it anyway.
You know what though? I'm pretty sure that this is either based on a comic book or a graphic novel.
It's a comic book.
Oh, it is a comic book? Okay. Mm-hmm. And the Avengers. See, I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know dates. Yeah, they're all from comic books, so who knows?
Oh, well, whatever. That's just a reoccurring theme.
One thing I thought was interesting because I just watched Constantine again last night, but they're walking down the hallway of all the artifacts, and it said Hitler acquired the spear of Longinus or Longinus, whatever, which pierced the side of Christ, and they had that in Constantine, the spear of destiny. Is the spear which pierced the side of Christ.
Oh, so it's the same thing.
Yeah, so I was like, that's interesting. It says, it'll give power to whoever carries it, which is kind of the same thing in Constantine. It'll unleash, all these devils.
Okay.
Looking forward to Hellboy 2.
Yeah.
That, so.
Because, I think, people that, not that I know a lot of people and we discuss the movie or anything, but, the people I know that have seen both movies and like them, like the second one a little bit more. I think maybe it's just they've got it a little bit more figured out, so things are a little bit tighter. Mm-hmm. What's her name? Liz? Mm-hmm. Selma Blair? Yeah. I like the character, but I found her a little annoying in certain ways in the first movie. Just because she's like, oh, I want to be normal. But in the second movie, she's like, yeah, I can be all fiery. And that's, she moves on from it. So there's just, little things like that I think are just tightened up or smoothed out or whatever you want to call it in the second movie. So yeah, so that'll be your, not this coming week, but the week after.
Yeah. And one last thing, how creepy is Cronin, I think his name is? The no eyelids and no lips and stuff.
Ooh,
how creepy was that?
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
I know. I did this. I was like, ew. So gross.
I'm glad that he got taken care of.
Yeah, he needs to go.
So I enjoyed it. Rob didn't really like it because I don't think he could follow it. I think he was distracted. But I thought it was cool.
Good. Yeah, glad you liked it. And yeah, now, especially after hearing you talk about it, I really want to watch that again. I haven't seen it in a very long time. So, yeah. All right. So, anyway, my movie was a completely different type of movie. I had Braveheart.
Yay.
So, yeah. And this has one of your top scenes in it, too. So, when that scene came on, I was like, oh, this is the scene. I must watch. I got to pay attention.
You probably weren't impressed at all.
No, but I mean, I knew exactly what was going to happen because you discussed it. So, but anyway. I like the movie. I like the battle scenes. I thought they were really cool. I really liked there was one scene, I don't remember which battle it was, but it was, they were standing there and they had to hold the line, and they had the guys on horses charging them, and then they waited till like the last second and then pulled up those
long spears.
Yeah. I was like, oh shoot, that was smart.
Feel bad for the horses though.
I felt very, very bad for the horses because they're the ones that hit, got most of the hits and stuff. But anyway, it was a little predictable, but again, it was very loosely based on the William Wallace story, so you can't really do a whole lot with that, I guess. Now, do you know, did Mel Gibson write this movie also? I know he directed it.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I could check it out, but no.
It's not really that important. But anyway, a little bit predictable. And then it made me, I went online after I finished watching the movie to just skim to see like how true it was and stuff, because like I heard William Wallace, and then I knew that he's Scottish, and that's all I knew. Yeah. So it's loosely based on it, so that's interesting. And
I mean, definitely the affair with the princess never happened.
Right,
in real life.
yeah.
That was just for the movie cinema.
Yeah, and then her being pregnant and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Which I thought that scene was cool too, where she was whispering to the I forgot his name. The guy. Yeah. I was like, oh, good.
Yeah.
And I read, actually, I went on IMDb and read the trivia, and it said that they had filmed his whole torture scene in a lot more detail, but it tested very negatively. So, and I guess it probably would have gotten a harder rating.
They probably
also
showed the whole pulling the intestines out.
Yeah,
they were just like hinting, just showing his face, but like, no, we don't need to see the whole drawn and quartered thing.
Right. So yeah, they strategically edited so you didn't see all that stuff.
Did you ever see the movie The Cell with Jennifer Lopez?
I saw it once a long time ago.
Because there's a scene where a drawn and quartered
thing. Yeah. Now that you say that, I remember that.
Yeah.
I need to watch that movie again because I don't really remember.
It was pretty good. I remember there was a sequel. I never seen the sequel though. I was like, I wasn't sure. I was like, ugh, sequel.
Yeah, I don't think that was good or anything.
Yeah. So anyway,
I like the soundtrack a lot too. James Horner did the soundtrack, and he also did Titanic and Avatar and all. He's done pretty good movies, good soundtracks. But I love bagpipes, so that was interesting. I was like, oh, I wonder. I should give this a listen on Spotify and see if I like it. Haven't done it yet, though. Anyway, and then there was a bunch of actors I've seen in other stuff that I was like, oh, look, it's Mad Eye Moody, and oh, look, it's Chibs. So I always do that. And it was enjoyable. I'm glad I finally, because I've been meaning to see this movie since it came out, I think. So I'm glad I finally sat down and watched the whole thing. And I'm glad you gave it to me in Blu-ray so I could see it in clear, high def, and all that crap. So yeah, I enjoyed it.
So you saw what I meant about that scene with the princess? It's kind of moving.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, because she's just not getting what he's saying and stuff, and so then he's like, oh.
You know what really, I didn't mention it in the side cast, but what really does bother me about that scene is that you could tell they shot it a couple different times, because in one scene her little thing that goes around her face is over her chin, and then in another scene it's under her chin, bunched up, and then it's over it and then under it. It's totally obvious. You go watch again, it's like, oh my god, why? Totally obvious.
Yeah, I didn't notice that, but okay. Yeah.
I see it every time now whenever I see it. But, I mean, I try not to let it bother me.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a movie. But, yeah, my sister and I were discussing that, how, the scene with Robert the Bruce and his father, it's like, what's the word before? He gave up, William Wallace. He betrayed him. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. He betrayed him. It was I saw it in his eyes.
Yeah.
I'll never choose the wrong side again. That's a good scene, too.
Yeah. I felt pretty bad for him. Yeah. Exactly.
I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah. It was very good, yes. So anyway, so those were our two movies from our queues, and we both liked them, so that's good.
Yay.
Have we had a week where we both struck out with movies?
I don't know. Normally it's been me. I pretty much like all the movies. I don't know if I've loved all the movies, but there's a couple of them you were like, yeah, I didn't really care for that movie, Vanessa.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we don't ever have that.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't hated any movie.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this was terrible.
just terrible.
God awful.
You're horrible.
Yes. Okay. Anyway, I don't know. I was a lazy ass this whole week, I guess, because I watched a couple of movies. Another movie that I think actually came out the same year as Braveheart that I have finally seen, and it's taken me like a million years to see it, but I finally saw Heat. Have you ever seen that movie?
No.
It has an impressive cast. It's got Val Kilmer, Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, Bubba from Forrest Gump. I can't remember his name.
Okay. I know who you're talking about, though.
Yeah, it's something Williamson.
All right, I got the point.
Okay, well, anyway, it's a good cast. It's a very long movie. It's like almost 2.5 hours long. So I had to watch it over 2 nights. I had to split it up. But anyway, it's it's got an impressive cast, and it's like a heist movie, but it follows the cops that are following this group, and then the actual robbers, basically, that are doing all this stuff. But yeah, it's got some good scenes. There's one in particular. There's this shootout that's like 3/4 of the way through the movie. I don't know if it's shot in real time, but it's just the way it's edited and the way they shot it and stuff looked really good. Like I was really like into it while I was watching it. So, and I don't think they had like any music in the background, so it just made it feel like more real and intense and stuff. And then of course, it's awesome because this was the first movie where Robert De Niro and Al Pacino, were in like the same movie and shared an actual scene and stuff. So that was pretty interesting to see. These two big icons or whatever. There were 1 or 2 like little plot points that I thought were kind of stupid, just because it's like, oh well, you know where this is gonna go. But on the whole, though, I would say it's a good movie. It's got a cool ending. It doesn't tie everything up perfectly. Like some characters, you're kind of left to assume what happens, which sometimes I don't like that in movies, but in this one, it was good. I liked it. I would say if you get a chance to watch it, but you definitely have to be in the mood because it is a long movie.
It's kind of like Braveheart. You gotta be in the mood to watch it.
Well, yeah, with war movies, definitely have to be in the mood. But I would say the same thing for this one. It's a Michael Mann movie, which I noticed he like makes action movies for like grown-ups. Like he's done like what else has he done? He like all his movies, because I went through his list on IMDb, his directing credits, and they're all movies that I'm like, oh, I want to see that, but I haven't seen it yet. But anyway, that's the thing that I get from him.
You can post later on all the movies.
Yeah. Or you guys can figure it out on your own, whatever. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It was pretty good. And then last night, I attempted to watch Sharknado because everybody won't shut up about it. And no.
So I was hoping it'd be horribly good. Like it's so horrible that it made it good. But
yeah, I mean, I guess maybe if you were like buzzed and watching it, it might be funnier. But I was just getting like aggravated with the movie just because it was shot horribly and everybody acted bad. The lighting was bad. And, the storyline, is going to be bad. But, I don't know. I just found it annoying. Like, the lighting in each shot was, like, totally different than the shot right before it. And they're in the same exact scene. And because I'm into editing, so the editing was really bad. So that was like really sticking out to me too. So I was just like, oh my God, we got to turn this off. I can't watch this movie anymore.
They talk about that in another podcast that you told me to listen to, How Did This Get Made?
I love that podcast.
Yeah.
It's so hilarious.
They have a Sharknado one that they just came out with. And it's so funny and they talk about like the editing and stuff and how like, oh, it just falls perfectly into the shark's mouth, And They said how Tara Reid is just a horrible actress. Like, why is she in this movie? And at the very end, she like kisses the guy or something. Oh, that's why she's in this movie.
Whoa, let me just tell you this one thing though. She kisses Steve Sanders from 90210, and he has just sawed his way out of a shark's belly.
Right, they talk about that.
And so he's covered in shark guts and blood. And she's like, oh, mwah. And I'm like, oh, so gross.
They're saying like the look of distaste on her face before she kisses him. Like that's where she earned her money.
Oh, goodness. She looks like a hot mess too. And they both have a son and daughter in the movie. And I mean, I'm not really sure how old both of them are, but these kids look way too old. They look like in their late teens. Maybe the girl could be in like her mid-teens, I guess. But like I was like, oh wait, that's her daughter? Like I had no idea.
Tara Reid is like what, 30 or something?
I don't know. I mean, she looks. I think her years of partying have aged her a little bit.
Okay.
And then and then what's his name? I don't know his real name, but Steve Sanders looks older, but he doesn't look old, I don't think. But yeah, don't bother.
Don't, okay. So I'm hearing so much about it. Makes you want to just see what everyone's complaining about.
Yeah, I was like, oh, well, this will be at least funny or fun or something. And no.
You were just getting aggravated.
Yeah.
Blood pressure rising.
Yeah. So then I watched this movie called The Collection, which came out last year, and it was a horror movie. It's one of the like torture porn movies, which I'm kind of over those. I haven't seen a lot of the newer ones that came out just because it's like
kind of like Hostel.
Yeah, like Hostel and Saw.
Hostel.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like whatever.
At all.
Yeah, I mean, like when they first started coming out, it was something different. It's just morbid curiosity. You just want to see what happens and stuff. But I think they got old real fast. So when I put this movie in, I'm like, I don't think I'm going to like this movie. But I found out it was actually a sequel to a movie called The Collector, which came out in 2009 or 2008. I've never heard of that movie, so I have no idea. And I didn't see it, so I don't know anything about it. But I was actually kind of entertained watching this movie. I don't know. Maybe it's because I haven't seen one of those types of movies in a long time. So, and then I don't know. I can't really explain it, but I wasn't like aggravated with the movie or anything. There's like a club scene in the beginning of the movie where I'm not kidding, like 100 people die. And I was like, wow, what an opening. That was kind of unexpected.
Like Ghost Ship or something, how everyone gets
yeah. Oh, Ghost Ship. I forgot about that movie.
Are you surprised I've seen that movie?
A little. Oh, I don't know.
I don't like the slasher stuff, but it was a ghost movie, so I guess that's
right.
Yeah,
so
like
that's what reeled you in.
Yeah. Oh my god.
No, but anyway, this movie, The Collection, it was kind of entertaining. It's definitely one of those kind of gross movies. People get killed in all these horrible, graphic, bloody ways. So it's definitely one of those types of movies. But on the other hand, I mean, like, I was entertained, and I'm kind of over those movies. So it's kind of a weird fluke, I guess.
I guess a lot of people like those movies because I guess they put it in their minds that they know it's not real, so they kind of like to judge it, like how realistic does this look? But I get into movies, like if a cat gets killed, I'm like, oh my god, like I get into it, even though I know it didn't really happen, it still like freaks me out. So I'm like, oh god, this could happen to somebody. So that's why I just like Hostel. My sister made me watch with her. I was like, I hate this movie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it's funny because you can like look at the difference between like, one of these types of movies and then you watched that Zodiac scene I posted, right?
I did, yes.
Okay. And like look at the difference between like a whole movie like Hostel and then a scene like Zodiac, and it's like which is more creepy, which is scarier. It's definitely the Zodiac one. Or what, like 90% of the population would say the Zodiac one's scarier because it's more realistic.
Yeah, I guess you get desensitized after a while. After seeing it, like, oh, here's another, okay, the Achilles tendon, okay, yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Sense, yeah. So, yeah, it was entertaining, but I don't know. It's puzzling.
Still not seeing it. I refuse
Well, that's okay.
No, we should do for a sidecast our 5 like worst movies that we hate.
Yeah.
Or movie scenes or something like that we hate, like, oh. But I have definitely movies I hate that my sister has shown me.
Yeah, we could do movies, but I think we'd have to, because like I've seen some real shit movies that have been like, the sci-fi movie or something that was just like direct to DVD. I think it has to be wide theatrical release movies, because otherwise, you can go off
small
on little
budget films. Or
exactly,
like that.
exactly.
Okay.
I think that should be our next one, 5 worst movies. Because actually, my friend said the same thing. She's like, "You should do one about the 5 worst movies of all time." And now you're bringing it up too. So I think that's our next one.
It's meant to be.
Yeah. Write it down. Okay, that's all the movies I saw. And then you didn't see any other movies, right?
No.
Okay, cool. So we're pretty much done with movies. And I mean, we're pretty much done with the big movies too for the summer. Next week is Wolverine. And which I guess we'll probably see that. Again, I'm not
It's
all
worth
that
a peek at the physical
right
specimen of that is Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, it's worth a peek for the girly side of the two of us, I guess. Well, I mean, I guess there's some action too.
Yeah,
So.
I guess.
Whatever. Take it off. I'm gonna be sitting in the theater. That's gonna be like all I'm yelling. But
Get to the shirtless scene.
yeah, hello. Was there a sex scene in this movie? But yeah, so we got Wolverine next week, and then it's August. Wow, man, this year is going by really fast.
The only next one I'm looking forward to is the Two Guns with Denzel Washington and
Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg. I was like, Marky Mark.
That comes out. Maybe that comes out August 2nd, because next weekend is the 26th. And then the weekend after, the Friday after that is the 2nd. That's probably when that movie comes out.
Yeah.
Because then you have the 9th is Elysium, which I want to see. And also, which I don't know why I keep forgetting about this movie, but Kick-Ass 2 is coming out sometime in August. I don't know when. I don't know if the movie will actually be good. But the first one, I saw that, I rented it, and I never read the novel or comics or whatever, so I didn't know anything about it. Yeah, I actually really like that movie. It's kind of weird. I mean, I didn't expect it. I was just like, well, this looks interesting, I guess. And there's a little girl that curses in it, so let me watch this movie. But I really like it. It was pretty entertaining. So I'm interested to see the next one. And it's got Jim Carrey in it, so that'll be interesting to see. And then the little girl's like a teenager now. Yeah. So
I'll still see it because I've seen the first one. I remember like thinking it was okay, but I remember like being angry, you know, of how the first one ended and stuff. And I just
you're just
wasn't,
next Nicolas Cage burned, right?
Maybe, I guess. I just remember being like, it was okay.
It was.
But maybe I have to see it again.
Yeah, that could be it. I think I have it, so you can borrow it one time. So yeah, that's it for the big summer movies, and then Insidious 2 is in September, and that's like the
Thor
only
2?
Thing. Well, yeah.
I'm
that's
drooling as we speak.
Yes. Here, clean that up. All right. Well, yeah, that's it for the movie section, I guess. On to TV.
Yay.
Let's start with Game of Thrones because I want to talk about that. So, well, yes, as you all. Well, I don't know if you heard it, but whatever.
I posted it, that I started Game of Thrones.
Vanessa has finally started Game of Thrones.
Thank you.
So, yay, I'm excited. I want to hear your thoughts and everything. So you watched the premiere, just the premiere, right?
Yeah, just season 1, episode 1. Yeah.
What did you think of the theme song?
Oh yeah, well, I when it came on, I was like, okay, pay attention. You know, like I thought it was, it was epic sounding.
Yeah,
you know,
and
so
it fits
I thought it was good. I like the animation with the showing the map where things are, so it kind of helps clear things up. Because as I started watching, I'm like, oh wait, okay, this is across the sea, and this is over here, and like trying to figure out and you had told me to pay attention to names and stuff, so I was trying to write down names and stuff and get it figured out because there's a lot of people that got introduced.
Because when I first started watching it, I didn't really pay attention to the names, and even now I'm like, wait, who? I need like a graph, Well,
what was funny is I went into this thinking it was just from the title, the Game of Thrones. I thought it was more just a period piece about people vying over the crown, which I guess it is, but it introduces like a supernatural aspect of it with like these White Walkers, which I kind of laughed because all of a sudden this creepy girl like showed up, and I was like, what's up with the creepy dead girls? That just seems to be a popular thing in horror movies. It's just so creepy, something creepy about a dead girl killing people. So that I just pointed out, what is it about creepy dead girls like The Ring and stuff like that? So I'm interested to see where the White Walkers. So I guess that's what they're hinting at when they keep saying winter is coming. Winter is coming. So I guess that's what they're hinting at. I definitely was freaking out when they found the baby wolves and they were like, "Oh, kill them!" I'm like, "No!" I seriously was gonna turn it off if they slit all those puppies' throats. I was like, "I'm not watching this." Like I said, I get into movies and like, even though I know it didn't happen, I'm like, "I am not watching this." And they kept them, so I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, the dire wolves, they're so cute.
I'm trying to think. I don't know. There's just so many characters. I'm definitely into the story with the girl with the long white hair and then Khal Drogo. Because I posted about that. I was going like, who is this guy? He's like 6'5", and I was like, and he's just like getting that that brooding look, like looking at her and stuff. And like they're like light and dark, them too. So I'm hoping it's going to be kind of a love story because they ended it where like he strips her and she's crying and he's like, no, and she's like, is that the only word you know? And he's like, no.
But yeah.
And he like pushes her down, but she like goes into like a fetal position or something. So I don't know what developed out of that, and they left it at that. So
were they
I don't
having
know.
sex?
Well, they didn't show that. They just showed her. You know, he undressed her and then he kind of pushed her down, and that was it. And she was crying. So I'm guessing that was, you know,
yeah,
that just the marital embrace,
the marital fun night. Yeah,
yeah. So I'm interested in that story, you know, and that it was so. What is up? You know, I just want to make sure at the very end, are they brother and sister that the kid sees?
Yeah, Cersei and Jaime,
that's what I was like. Oh my god, what's going on?
Yeah.
What is up with the incest? Because again, like with the whatever their names are, the white hair, the guy's like, you have a woman's body now, and he's like touching her breasts and stuff. Like that's her brother.
He is. Oh my god.
I hate that
creepy.
guy. He's
yeah.
like, I would let all 40,000 soldiers,
Yeah.
you know, have their way with you. And
Yeah.
I was like, what an asshole.
Yeah, he is horrible.
So yeah,
boy.
I felt bad for her. I thought she was gonna, when she was walking into that pool, and then she's like, "Lady, it's too hot." Like I thought she was gonna kill herself. Honestly,
like I can't. It's
yeah.
horrible.
So, but I'm definitely entertained. And then when he like, you know, pushed the kid out of the window, I was like, "No."
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That's awful.
I was like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, things I do for love. Like, but it's her brother.
Yeah.
So
I know.
it's kind of freaking me out, but it's definitely, you know, dragged me in. So
sucked you in, yeah.
I'm definitely like eager to watch the next one. I just feel so bad for the dad because he just left, you know, and then the mom's going to think that the kid went to climb up there to see him off, you know, and she's going to feel guilty. And
Right. Yeah, that's why he was climbing up there.
and they're going to like unite their houses. That kid's name is Joffrey.
Joffrey,
The
yes.
young kid, yeah. I remember seeing like Teen Joffrey around, so I don't know if he becomes
really?
a huge character later. I remember seeing Game of Thrones Teen Joffrey or
Oh,
something.
okay.
So I don't know what that develops into, but
Mm-hmm.
the girl's like 13. I was like, oh man.
Yeah. They start all
So
that stuff young.
I'm into the story. I really have to get an idea of who's who. I mean, I have an idea basically. I don't know all their names yet, but yeah, I liked it.
Good.
Feel bad for the poor dwarf guy. You know, he seems really smart. You know, but he's like, you know, embrace what you are, use it as a shield instead of for people to use it to hurt you. I
Right.
thought that was an interesting line. He said like, you know, a father would look at a dwarf as a bastard or whatever.
Right,
One
right.
guy. So.
Oh boy, I there's not a whole lot I can say. Glad you're watching it, and you'll get caught up pretty quickly, I think. So that'll be good. Then we'll be able to talk.
One thing
about
I'm
it.
confused about: what is this wall? Like, is it a wall that protects everybody?
Yes,
Is it like,
it's
so
a
it's like
wall.
a perimeter wall.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, basically.
So the north, so they had the south and the north, whatever. They're being protected by this wall from the White Walkers.
Right. It's
Okay.
I forget what they call the area where it's like Antarctica. It's like really, really cold and windy and stuff. And man, I don't know. Like I don't want to mess up and like tell you something you're not supposed to know yet.
So so it's supposed to protect them, basically.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right.
And
Winter's coming.
Yeah.
They said that like 5 times. Like, okay,
we got it. We
got
got
the
it.
foreboding tone here.
We know. I will tell you. Okay, at some point, because my favorite characters will change, especially with this show. But at one point, the dwarf Tyrion Lannister, and then the sister with the blonde hair, Daenerys. Those two, at some point, were my favorite characters. So. Just so you know.
Okay. So they turn.
I can't tell you what happens or anything.
So the Lannisters are like the brother and sister who were
The
coupling.
blondes. Yeah,
And
yeah.
then the dwarf guy and stuff. So it came out that they had killed the previous king. Is that what that note said or whatever?
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. She's like, oh, he's been murdered. The previous king has been murdered. Now they're going to kill the current king, who's like that guy's best friend or something.
Right, because you have the guy from Lord of the Rings. Ned Stark, right? That's
Yeah.
the Starks, and they're in the north. And then you've got the current king of whatever the hell the land
place,
is called. Yeah, he's I can't remember his first name, but his last name is Baratheon, I think. And then Cersei is married to him. She's a Lannister, and then you've got her brother Jaime, and then their other brother is Tyrion, the dwarf.
And then Joffrey?
Joffrey is their kid, yeah. The Baratheon guy and Cersei's kid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then I think she has a daughter also? I can't remember.
She
Yeah,
does.
okay. And then way out in the middle of nowhere, you have the Targaryens, which are the blonde ones that are going to marry.
They used to be
Yes.
the king or whatever, and then
Yeah.
they got banished or something.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly why, but yeah, they were the ones that were in power, and then they got killed off or went crazy or banished or
So
something.
they're like the last two.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm sure it'll develop more as I watch it, and I'll be like, "Oh, okay, I got it."
Right.
They
You'll
just
start
introduced a
piecing
lot
things
of
together.
stuff in this first one.
Yeah.
But I was definitely like into it the whole time I was watching. Like, oh, what's going on with this? And then I was a little confused at first when they went, okay, across the sea, and then they show these blonde people. Like, what's going on? Who are these people now?
Yeah. Because they're like, everybody else is kind of like they're intertwined a little bit, but then the Targaryens are like way out in the middle of nowhere. And you're like, well, what? I don't know.
But like I said, that's my favorite story right now. How she's like being like forced into slavery or whatever by being married off to this warrior who doesn't cut his hair and
clan. Yeah, exactly.
But I was like, oh man, this guy, man.
Oh my goodness,
Jason Momoa.
Woo!
I still like. Yeah, I mean, I can admire his body and stuff and his looks and everything, but I still like. I don't know. I still like Tom Hiddleston.
You like your pale, tall men. I
guess so. I
know
the pale, like more slender, than the buff, but I still admire it, I still,
And I think, I mean, like that actor, he's not like always super buff or anything, but for that character, he's got to look really impressive too.
Like, it was weird is I think like The Rock, I think he's like a good looking man and stuff. I'm not like that attracted to him because he's so like buff and everything. I'm just like, like, wow, like great, good job working out and everything.
Good for
but
you.
It's just like, that's a little too much for me.
Yeah. Remember for like a couple of years, he had slimmed down when he was just acting. He wasn't doing like any wrestling stuff or anything. He slimmed down a little bit. And then I remember the first time I saw him after he slimmed down, I thought he was sick or something. They're like, oh no, he's just, like a normal person now. Still real buff, but just like slimmed down more. And then like when Fast 5 came out, and then one or two other movies, I was like, oh my god, he's all like beefed up again.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
So I don't know. I just know what I like.
I like a wide range. I don't really have I can't
like I said, like, oh, he's good looking. I'm not gonna be like, I don't
yeah.
like him at all. It's just like I'm more attracted to a certain other type, So.
All right, that floats your boat.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh goodness.
So yes, thumbs up for Game of Thrones. I'm excited to watch the next episode.
Yeah, good. Well, yeah, you can feel free to watch as many episodes a week as you want, and we'll check in with you watching it. So.
When does the next season start?
I think it starts in April, so you have a while.
Oh, I got time. Okay.
You'll be caught up by
3
then.
seasons to be caught up with, yeah.
And there are only 10 or 12 episodes a season. So, yeah, that's great.
All right.
I'm super excited. All right, so moving on now to another HBO show we watched.
True Blood.
Right. So what happened this week on True Blood? Or what do we want to talk about?
I got a lot of notes here because it was kind of all over the place. Just little things. My first note that I wrote down is, why can't Lafayette control spirits?
I know.
He always seems to be, possessed by some spirit and then kills people.
A bad spirit. Yeah, he needs
to kill Jesus, and now they had the cliffhanger where he's possessed by Sookie's dad and is about to kill Sookie, which I'm not sure if I'm liking this whole plot twist where Warlow is actually a good guy. He actually does love Sookie, and he was just protecting her, and her parents were trying to kill her.
But see, like, if you think about why were they trying to protect, or why were they trying to kill her? To protect her from him, right? Was that what it was?
Yeah, something about like her because of her mind reading stuff. Like, I don't want her to grow up with this and all this stuff. Because I remember he was telling them like, I'll make her immortal, and then they saw that he was a vampire. Yeah, I think they were protecting her from him, and he was trying to protect her from them. So
right, okay, right.
But they were trying to protect her by killing her.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, well, that's not really gonna work.
I was trying to imagine, like, because you had the whole scene where Claudine is on there like, Warlow, back off, leave the girl alone, or whatever, because he was killing her parents. So I'm guessing because they showed like him putting Sookie in the back seat, right. And then he got in the car, but the mom didn't jump in the car. But in that scene, they're like on the bridge. So I don't know if that's that same night where he's trying to kill Sookie, or if that's a scene later on.
Yeah, and doesn't he like look all scraggly and
different?
And
he like looks through the car and he like finds the Band-Aid. So I guess Sookie's not in the car then. So that must be a different scene.
Yeah, I mean, I guess once the whole scene or once the whole season ends, like we'll be able to fill in all these little blanks, or I would hope we'll be able to fill in all these blanks, because yeah, there's stuff that just doesn't totally add up right now. So
Yeah, he looked. Now think about it, he had like a hat and a trench coat, and he looked really scary, like I'm coming for you, like totally, like okay, that's Warlow.
Yeah,
okay.
And now you have this clean cut young man right here.
Like it would have been cool if if he looked similar to that, but he was like one of those dark, kind of sexy, but also in a dark, like kind of scraggly way, like the beard or something. But
yeah, like one of the guys from Vikings or something.
Yeah, like that would have worked out better. This guy, like I'm just not feeling this guy.
I mean, I think he's
cute and everything.
Yeah, he's attractive, but I don't know.
Let's see here. So the cliffhanger, I put like ... still ... don't care about the wolves at all.
Not at all. I really,
like,
I hope they do
such a
something.
jerk.
Yeah, I hope they do something because and I mean, we're a couple episodes in now, so the storylines are the storylines.
Yeah.
There's this finding Luna's daughter. What's her name? I don't even remember her name.
Emma.
Finding Emma.
Okay.
Okay.
That's it.
Why? Like, who gives
She's
a
a member
shit?
of the pack. Blah, 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 blah. Like, okay.
Yeah, I really hope they're fixing to wipe them out because I just don't care about them at all.
I did think about how it is interesting how none of the stories interact with each other, basically. Like, the wolf story, you got the Sam and the one girl story, and then you have the Bill and Jessica storyline. They have no idea what Sookie and them are doing. You got the Pam and Pan and Eric and stuff, and like they're all separate from each other.
Yeah.
The only thing like they finally brought together where Jessica is now in the prison with Tara and Pam and stuff. But like, has Bill noticed that Jessica has been captured? Like, you think he would have felt like her distress, at being captured. So, but they don't show that. Mm-hmm. Where did they end off with Bill? I guess he was with Warlow. Warlow was like holding the blood guy hostage or something.
Right. Yeah.
Scientist guy. So I guess Bill has other priorities right now than his progeny, but I mean, Warlow is his progeny.
He like remembered that it's happening, or was that the last episode? Did something happen and he was like, "Oh, it's happening!" Like his vision was coming true.
No, I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't totally.
So like, I mean, I expected him because he loves Jessica, so I expected him like Jessica. So now, like, yeah, maybe this is like the start of the war. Like he's gonna storm the prison and all this stuff.
Yeah.
What did you think about since he's drank the blood of Lilith that now he like can control all her progeny and how it's revealed that Warlow is the one who killed Lilith and stuff?
Ew, what was up with their sex scene? I thought that was like all like awkward and I'm like,
yeah, she's like, okay, wrap my leg around it. Okay, here we go.
Yeah,
I was like, okay. She's like, you smell amazing. God told me about a creature such as you.
This is weird. Yeah. But anyway, wait, what did you ask? Oh, yeah, I don't like the whole Lilith thing, to be honest. So I'm like on the fence about, like, I'm just like looking, like proceeding with caution, basically.
I mean, they're hinting again how like Lilith now they show that got killed by the sun, and Bill like tried to stay on the sun. So maybe that's something will happen with the sunlight later on. Like I mean, they foreshadowed it with all of them being in the room and they opened the ceiling. Yeah, so it's definitely all about sunlight.
Yeah, you can't get away from that.
So. I am freaking out about the last scene with Pam and Eric.
Like,
haven't you guys seen Gladiator? And I'm like, yes, I have.
I have now. Yeah.
I have seen Gladiator. I get that reference. So, but I'm like freaking out. Like, like maybe it'll be, I put down a note, like maybe it'll be like the Hunger Games where they both are like, well, we'll just kill each other then, instead of you having a winner.
Well, I noticed that they purposely did not show Pam in the trailer for the upcoming episode. So
I didn't get to see that because I watched it on HBO Go. They didn't show the
you know what you do? It's a separate clip because I watched it on HBO Go also. You watch the episode and then you go back to the main.
I didn't see it.
Well, I'll show you later.
Okay.
But yeah, you can watch it on there. But I'm like 90% sure they didn't show her in the next clip.
They do that
but those are misleading. Those are meant to be misleading. So who the hell knows?
I mean, if they show Pam, you're like, okay, so they didn't kill each other,
right?
So then there's no cliffhanger. So that makes sense.
Yeah. I'm not sure what they're going to do with that. I don't know if they have the balls to actually kill off Pam right now, but I mean that would definitely change up things. So who knows?
I'm wondering about how, with Andy and that fairy, how she said, like, oh, your job is to ensure half of them survive into adulthood, but he only has one of them now. So I wonder if there's going to be any retaliation that he only has a fourth of his fairy children that survived into adulthood.
Yeah. I forgot that she had said that. So, yeah.
I don't know. I just remember that was a funny line. You need to make sure half of them survive into adulthood.
Okay.
Like, now he only has one. So something's going to happen with this one girl. Like, maybe she does something because she's a fairy. Like, she saves somebody. I don't know. Who do you think is going to save Sookie? Because obviously she can't be killed by her, she can't be drowned.
Who's outside right now?
So Warlo's in the cage with, talking to Bill. Eric and Pam are in the cage. Let's see here. Andy's out.
Bill... Bill would know if she was in trouble.
Right, he would. But it's daylight right now.
Right, so he wouldn't be able to run out there.
Yeah, unless he sends Warlow to get her. But he's not going to let him go because they're at a standoff right now. So I don't know. Or maybe, I was imagining, what if she, pretends to drown and then he lets her go and she kind of floats away and, fakes it and then gets out and runs.
Or if Lafayette can, kick the dad out of his body or something, maybe.
So something
or Terry could drive by and be like, hey, what are you doing?
What's going on? And he gets killed by the one friend, which is such a stupid plot line. I'm like, what? I need you to kill me.
I know. I'm like, this is eating up
he does
time.
need to kill him because I'm tired of this storyline.
Yeah. I'm glad they don't have a major storyline like they did. Was it last season with the
shadow monster?
Oh yeah, shadow
whatever
monster.
Whatever that crap was. Bad special effects and all that.
And I'm like, wait, why? That was me. That sums up
just
me
why?
All last season. Why? Yeah, I don't know. We'll just see how it goes. I mean, like we keep saying, it's more interesting. It's way better than last season.
Yeah.
Still some reservations, and it's definitely not my favorite show, but I like it again.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy that I like it again.
Yeah, I'm happy that they fixed it up. I'm like, okay, now I'm interested in what happens to Sookie, with this whole Warlow thing.
I'm really glad I like Sookie again.
Really hope that Pam and Eric work things out. I really don't want to see either of them die. I mean, I know you were saying that it's going to happen. They have to kill off somebody.
They got to kill somebody.
Yeah, I'm worried about who it is, biting my nails. Oh, please.
I know, because
kill Tara. I don't like Tara.
When that happened, when they were in the fight room or whatever, I was like, maybe I should add Pam to my list of possible kill offs.
Maybe she'll be all depressed and she'll ask him to kill her. It's okay. I want this to end or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, we will find out.
They focused a lot on her, the whole shrink, when she was talking to the guy and stuff. She's like, we don't care about people like you. So they focus a lot on her mindset and stuff. So
yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see.
Tune in tomorrow night, which will be Monday for me because I'll watch it on.
Oh yeah, it'll be Monday for me
you're
too.
Watching Dexter.
Yes, Dexter is. I know you don't watch it, but it's the final season, and there's some stuff that I'm like, oh boy, let's see where this goes, and then there's some other stuff where I'm just like, oh. But yeah, man, all my good shows are coming to an end. It's a little scary, but that's how it goes.
Everything's got to come to an end.
Exactly.
Speaking of ending, this podcast is probably over.
Pretty much, yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything I wanted to mention. Not really. Still very slowly picking away at Breaking Bad, but
I switched to Game of Thrones, so
do it.
Yeah, because I liked the first episode of Breaking Bad, but then I kind of I don't care anymore.
Yeah, it's whatever.
So Game of Thrones is my show right now.
Yes, stay on Game of Thrones. I'm excited for
Do
that.
Do
it now. All right. Well, we should go ahead and pick our movies for next week.
Okay.
So yours is going to be Bridget Jones.
Yes.
We're going to totally switch it up from this last week. I think you'll like Bridget Jones. I really like it.
I'm pretty sure I will too. I'm going to expecting to like it.
And the second one, I still really like the second one. It's not as good as the first, but I really like it. So I'm glad you're going to finally see that. I can't believe you haven't seen it.
I don't know. I'm sure once I see it, why haven't I seen this sooner?
Yeah, because it's definitely your kind of movie.
Yeah.
And I relate a lot to Bridget Jones. And Renee Zellweger is fantastic as her too. So yay, I'm glad you're going to see that. And I was going to watch Dances with Wolves. But I have kind of clogged up my DVR, and I'm on kind of a time limit now because my roommate is moving out. So I have to hurry up and watch these movies. So I think I'm going to pick Gangs of New York for next week. It's a movie I've never seen. I've always wanted to see it.
I saw it a long time ago. That was with Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yeah.
Right? I saw it a long time ago, like when I was 16 or something.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah, when it first came out,
vaguely
probably.
remember thinking it was a good movie. There's a lot of like fights and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I know Daniel Day-Lewis's character is pretty whoa in it. And I know Cameron Diaz is in it, so I'm interested to see how well she's going to fit, because I don't really see her. We'll just see how that goes. That dude, man, I don't know what it is with me picking these long-ass movies. That's almost 3 hours. I'm like, damn it.
Dance with Wolves is long, too.
Yeah. But, hey, I got to get through it. So, Gangs in New York for me, and Bridget Jones for you. All right, good. So, we'll do our little contact thing now. If you'd like to find us on Twitter or Facebook, you can just search for Damsels in Debate. You can also stream our podcast episodes on our website, damselsindebate.com. And we are also on Stitcher now, Stitcher Radio. I really, really like that app, actually. There's so many different podcasts on there. And, I mean, it's basically like iTunes, but it's just, you can use it, on your Android phone or wherever. So I really, really like that app. And yeah, we're finally on there now. So that's great. You can find us on Stitcher also, Damsels in Debate. And where else? What am I missing?
Want to email us like that nice gentleman did?
Yes. If you would like to email us, like Will from Sacramento, just go to damselsindebate@gmail.com. And, right, that's everything.
Yeah.
And, of course, we're on iTunes, and we would love any kind of feedback. We also got some feedback about our favorite movie scenes. Some people told us some of ours on Facebook. So... if you want to do that, or just give us some recommendations,
and
we
rate us
love
too
that.
if you like.
Oh yeah, definitely. And subscribe, because we don't know how we're doing unless you guys tell us. So thank you very much for listening.
Yes, thank you.
It was a good podcast this week. So until next week.
Till next time.
Bye.